You know, this is my second take on this video. First take, it lasted like a minute, and I did this whole rant. Anyways, how's it going? If you guys want to know anything else about Korra at the moment, I suggest you watch my coffee time that I'll be posting. It's going to be telling you guys everything of like what's going to happen in my previous one, where I told you guys that after this video, I won't start season 2 until a week from now. Where everything's fresh, I get to clear out my other series, and stuff starts off well. With that being said, that's that. And yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be like that. So now for Korra, let's talk about season 1, the review, the discussion, all the video, like the stuff you guys wanted me to do for like a crazy amount of time. We're here, and yeah, how's it going, guys? Grab your water, your tea, your coffee, your hot chocolate, your Javel, your whatever, Ijalu. I don't know what kind of drinks you got. I think Ijalu is like Javel or Javex for like Spanish. I don't know. I mean, I drink that every morning. Just kidding, guys. Don't take this seriously. Like, don't do it. I'm dead serious. Okay, so Korra season 2, season 2 season 2, guys. No, season 1. So season 1 was a pretty cool start for Korra. When I first started Korra, I was kind of like, okay. And a lot of you guys told me, it's like, don't compare it to Avatar, because, Avatar is like here, and Korra, even though it's really, really high and good, compared to Avatar, it's like this kind of thing there. So, obviously, I tried thinking of it as a separate show, and, trying to enjoy as much as I could. And starting it off, it wasn't too bad. And in general, I liked the first season a lot. It was something interesting, smooth animation, soundtracks great as always. That's one thing that you see always in Avatar, is the great soundtracks, and animations, and everything was smooth and cool, and the plot was interesting. And we'll be able to go through various things throughout this video. Try to at least have like a good 20 minutes of us talking about this. So yeah. Now, we start off the series. Now, that's it. Like, as I was briefly mentioning, me starting out the series. So, I'm trying. I didn't make anything. Normally, when I did with Avatar, I had, like, my bullet point notes of stuff to talk about. I didn't really do it this time just because, for the sake of, like, yeah, why not? Like, let's just do it. It's a discussion anyways, so, I mean, I guess it's a video where there's lots of pauses and it's not done professionally. It's just like, it's as if like you guys are right here with me. Like, you came over to my house and you're like, yo bro, let's talk about Korra. Okay, my homie dog? And I'm like, okay, let's talk. And then we bring up random stuff. So this is the kind of video that I'm making. So overall, I really liked Korra the first season. Definitely impressive. And even though I really miss Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think this is a great series nonetheless. Obviously, I haven't watched enough of Korra to make an opinion of which one is better. Maybe I'll do a comparison video one day just for the fun of it. Obviously, not try to be biased and be like, oh yeah, guys, Korra's 10 times better than Avatar: The Last Airbender. Screw that Last Airbender. Who's Aang? Who's Sokka? There's this guy that likes tea on the show. I wonder what's his name. But, yeah, I was just being sarcastic there, guys. Don't worry. I know the tea guy is Iroh. And, yeah, so what I really liked, I think we'll talk about, like, the strong points and then the less strong points. We'll start off with that. That's the only thing I can think of right now. So the strong points of the series was that we had really good action, we had a really good plot, and a really good villain. Obviously, we got quite a bit of, I could say we got quite a bit of character development. We got introduced to the characters pretty well. I'd say so myself. Obviously we have Mako, Bolin, and then we have a few other characters like Tenzin, and then Nora, and Milo, and Korra, and obviously there's Katara, and then, everyone else, Tarlok, Amon. So, yeah, I was talking about the introduction of characters. So, I mean, all that was pretty good. How we got introduced to Mako and Bolin. Obviously, Mako thought, oh, this is another fangirl, blah blah blah. Don't stick with her, Bolin. And then, she joins the fight. Not too bad of a fighter. And stuff rolls on, then we meet the other girl. I forgot her name. You see, I didn't really care about her. Who's going into like a relationship with Mako. You got introduced to her a bit later on into the series. Not that far. Well, not that far. Somewhat into the series, we see her. And that was pretty interesting. And another upside was the soundtrack, as always. They always fit the situation really well. Whether it's the presence of Amon or, something else happening or some sad romance kind of thing. They always said it pretty well. And the villain, basically Amon, which I just mentioned 2 seconds ago, I really liked the way... I think one of my favorite things this season was the way they presented him and the way they were able to, I guess you could not necessarily portray a scary villain, but like a very mysterious villain that you kind of know about, someone you can relate to a certain extent, because obviously, like, for his whole, like, equality kind of thing, but he's so mysterious at the same time, like, especially with his ability, obviously, to blood bend. If you guys watching this video, you should have watched the first season. Anyways, blood bending people's abilities away, or, like, not abilities, they're bending away, and, with that being said, it's something mysterious because you don't realize it's bloodbending until the end, until episode 11, if I'm not mistaken, where Tarlok tells them that it's that. So yeah, I mean, he's a mysterious guy, especially when he first got introduced. I found him really cool, and it was an interesting take on a villain. It wasn't like Avatar, for example, where the villains really stood out and we kind of knew about them quite a bit. Like, we knew Zuko, we know, for example, Fire Lord Ozai, we knew that Azula was connected to him, and, we knew that, Zuko, Azula, we knew a bit about Fire Lord Ozai. We got some history about him, and then Sozin, and we knew about the villains, and, even Admiral Zhao, we saw him quite a bit. We knew about them. But this guy, it's like, they throw him on to like a diamond platter, and we have no clue what he does. And, I think it's really good that Korra, when she starts, or like comes to Republic City, it's kind of like in the start or like in the middle of this like whole war, especially with this guy being like pretty cool. And I found that to be extremely interesting and a great way to start season 1. Kind of like all the way in the action kind of stuff. Years later from the original normal series of The Last Airbender. And that's it for the whole villain part, which I really liked. Especially bloodbending. Like, they bring that back pretty well here, I have to admit. And then, so yeah, that's another strong point. The villains. The soundtrack, the ways the character got introduced. Another strong point. I'm trying to think I know there's going to be another strong point that I'll probably forget throughout the video. Trying to think. I mean, everything character-wise is done pretty well. Like Mako, Bolin, the characters are well done. Pretty well done. Yeah, I guess that would be it for the good sides. Obviously, soundtrack, ambience, animations, good, all that good stuff. The downside, I think the downside was, obviously, other than the romance, the cringy romance, that was quite cringy, especially when I was, like, reacting and commenting over it. I was like, what the hell is this, man? Like, okay. It's getting crazy up in here. And then one moment, Mako's with her, and then Korra, they're kissing, and Bolin's like, what the my brother's kissing this chick, but he's with another girl, and then goes and, like, gets himself drunk off of noodles. Obviously, he has Pabu with him, and, yeah, it's kind of weird when I saw that. I think it was, like, episode 5, and I was like, what the hell? This series is, like, ridiculous. Um, yeah, so it's a weird romance kind of stuff that was kind of like a big downside in my opinion. But I still found it not too bad. It wasn't the worst thing. The show is still watchable. I mean, but it kind of not that made you have a different view on the show, but it's like you had all of this stuff going on, this seriousness, and then you have like this big like quadruple triangle kind of thing going on there. It was like really confusing that they engaged you in two things at the same time, like the relationships of the show and the actual plot of the show. It's like they were kind of like two separate things here, which was kind of frustrating. It would kind of like be in like Avatar: Last Airbender if like Aang would have been like he would have been with Toph, and then Katara was jealous, and then the whole situation's going like this, and then somehow like Sokka's like, no, you kiss Katara in front of me, then like goes with like Momo to the bar or whatever. I don't know, something like that. It's like really weird how they set it up, and it's like two different things you get there. It's like relationships, but the plot, two different things, and somehow like it doesn't really mix well. It's like there's so much happening relationships wise on the series. Like I mentioned, they're two different things. It's like one moment you're talking about the plot, and then this whole thing with Amon and like the seriousness of the show, and then the next second you're being brought to this whole relationship crisis, which is kind of like, okay, but what's the point with like, for sure it adds a bit more to like the whole like complexity of the characters. They got like I don't know, ambivalent decisions to make, or all kinds of other stuff, and maybe this changes the characters and makes them dynamic, in a sense that they change probably from this like romance stuff, but still nonetheless I think it could have done it in a bit more smoother, more subtle, a more like they could have sneaked it in a lot more better, or like slip it in, or done it a bit more smoother, instead of the way they did it, so direct, and it was obvious. That was, I guess you could say, my problem with that con. It was that, and as much as I like to say, I think for me the first episode was, I talk about my favorite and my least favorite episodes in all the seasons, and I'll get the list right here. Just give me a second. So my least for some reason, episode 1 for me didn't feel like my most favorite favorite episode, because it was kind of awkward. It really was. Like, the way they introduced you to the series, it was like really, really weird. I found like how they started you out. She was firebending with some people. They were obviously practicing and saying she's not ready. Obviously, like I said, like a million times already in this video, I mean, you don't know the series, so obviously they're introducing you to the series basically. So I can't judge that, but I think it could introduce you a bit more better. For example, I'm not gonna do any comparisons. I probably shouldn't, but somehow I am. Avatar: Last Airbender, for example, it shows how different these series are. We get really good introduction from the first episode. I'm not gonna compare any of the two series. I'm just saying how they introduced us into Korra was really sudden. It was like, it literally was completely sudden. So for anyone that was new to the Avatar series, by watching Korra, most likely they wouldn't understand every single thing. So I guess another con could be, I guess you could say, for someone that's new to the series, they probably should watch Avatar before Korra. It'd probably be a must-have, because they wouldn't understand everything, and I guess it would take away from the epicness of the series. Okay, who's Avatar Aang? Who is he? Like, okay, how is she moving his limbs like this? Like, oh, blood bending. Okay, so maybe he's controlling his blood. Okay. Water Tribe. Huh. I'm sure I've heard of that somewhere. Oh, it's this show probably I watched once. A Water Tribe girl and a guy. He had a boomerang. Like, literally, it's like it's like they don't introduce you to this stuff. So you literally have to have a good base knowledge on the world of Avatar itself. In my opinion, that's like really like my opinion wise. So you would have to watch Avatar: Last Airbender before you even watch this series. If you, I don't know, for whatever reason, anyways. So I was able to get okay, good. I was able to get the episode list just so I'm able to remember. So one of my favorite episodes, I really liked episode 6, where there was the whole big when Amon threatens the pro bending arena, and obviously we try to leave out the last episode when we do these. Like episode 11 and 12, we remove this. I can't say these are the best. So the reason for that is because, obviously you're always going to often choose the last episode or say it's the most epic or has the most action. So I always leave that out. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so my favorite episode, I was able to get now. My favorite episode is episode 9. Now, I am still debating on that, and there was another episode. Not that I'm trying to remember it. I'm trying to remember the number, but anyways. What I really liked about episode 9 was that, first of all, there was the whole like Tarlok situation with Korra. We had the other characters with their situation going on, and especially when she was escaping and she saw Amon. It was another thing that we still saw, like Amon, even at this point of the show, at episode 9, he's still super scary, and he has this creepy presence where it's like it's scaring the crap out of everyone, even me, man. Like I was watching this, I was like, Jesus Christ, man, this guy. He's gonna pop up in my nightmares one day. But yeah, like, that's my favorite episode. My least favorite episode, like I said, it's hard because, like, I like episode 1. I like all the episodes. And I mean, even though episode 5 was cringeworthy with the whole, like, relationship stuff, I still found it kind of funny. So I'm gonna say for now I don't have an exact opinion on like my least favorite episode, but for sure, who knows? Maybe in the future I'll be like, okay, now I know I hate that episode specifically. So now we talked about least favorite episode, the good sides, the downsides. I guess the overview of the plot and all that stuff. We kind of talked about Amon's whole plan, and like I said with the whole pros and cons. Like the guy was well made. Let's be honest. Good villain. He was a cool guy. Now he's gone. He's out of the way. Like, screw him on, guys. Bending for the win. Yeah. Now let's go to the whole season 2 expectations, or what's gonna happen in the future. So this is where we speculate, kind of talk about things, try to figure out everything. Now don't forget, I don't know anything you guys know, so please don't judge. You guys are gonna be like, Jesus, this guy thinks Amon is gonna come back. No, Amon doesn't come back. Tarla comes back. He's a new villain for season 2, and you guys are gonna be like face palming the whole time. But like, I don't know any of this, guys. Like, everyone, like not everyone. Now it's less worse than before. But when I was like, I think at episode like 10, 11 of Full Metal Alchemist, and even it was the same exact thing for Avatar. People were like, dude, are you an idiot? Like, are you seriously an idiot for not knowing this? I'm like, well, if you're a first time watcher, you can't really notice that. It's like, you gotta watch a series to be able to like notice this. It's like when Aang goes into the Avatar state for the first time. You don't know it's called the Avatar state the first time he does it. Like, okay, you watch this guy go full glowy eyes. Like, how are you supposed to know that? It's like when Goku goes like Super Saiyan mode. How are you supposed to know it's called Super Saiyan mode? Like, what the hell? So I know people got frustrated. Not any of you guys. It was like people that like took my stuff too seriously. And they were just like, okay, screw this guy. I'm going to another channel kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, go ahead, enjoy yourself. But no, so for season 2, we're just gonna stop talking about like the whole speculation thing of you guys getting mad or not mad, because I know you guys won't get mad. I was just kidding around. But so for season 2, I can't say I have any ideas for what's gonna happen. You know, obviously, you know, Korra still has to be like a master avatar. She's far from it. Let's be honest, guys. Like, she's far from great. You know, at the whole avatar stuff, and she's still new to it, and she's gonna improve. So I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, season 2 is gonna focus quite a bit on that, on her improving. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a new villain or a new problem. Apparently, what was I gonna say? Yeah, apparently, someone mentioned that you know, each season has its own like stuff happening in it, and they're separated, so it's not like something happens in season 2 and it's going to continue in season 3 kind of thing, you know, like the same villain or like, I don't know, me. So, yeah, I don't have any ideas for season 2 of what's going to happen. All I can think of is that, you know, Korra's going to improve. We might get introduced to some new characters. It's very possible, you know, who knows. And, you know, I'm kind of disappointed, guys. For the first season, we should just skip to episode 10. If you guys get the joke. I really hope you guys got the joke. Like, really. Okay. So, I think this is pretty much it for my Korra episode. Jesus. Season 1 review. Yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I think this is pretty much it. Like, for Korra season 1, I mean, we're gonna start season 2. No specific date, but like I said, in a week from now. So most likely we are the 1st of April. No, 1st of April. We went back in time, guys. 1st of May. So you're gonna be expecting the next episode around the 8th or the 9th. And during this time, I'm gonna finish Assassination Classroom. I'm really hoping I can post everything this week. I'm going to be posting everything this week, and then catch up a bit in Danny Phantom just for the fun of it. Now, that's the problem. Once I finish Assassination Classroom, since I'm waiting for Brotherhood, and I'm done Assassination Classroom, and Korra's going to be starting in the week, for a whole week, the only series I have is Danny Phantom, so I'm wondering if I'll do like 8 episodes of that, but I'm still debating if I should. But I have like 2 full days off, so I'll have more than enough time to record. So who knows? Maybe I'll record some extra stuff. But who knows, man? Like, this stuff I'll talk in my coffee time, you know, stuff like that. But hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I mean, I always appreciate you guys stopping by and, you know, leaving your awesome comments. And, you know, always been you, and yeah. So, I'm gonna go.